Hello, this is Sandy with Sandy's Crafty Creations, and today I'm going to share a Valentine wreath tutorial for Gypsy Sew laser cuts. Let's get started. First, I've chosen a large chipboard wreath from Gypsy Sew laser cuts and some ribbon, and I've also got some graphic 45 cut aparts, different sizes that I may use on this from an older collection. I'll share that in a supply list at the end of the video. And I'll cut out some hearts using the chipboard hearts as templates that I may or may not use. So I selected two different sizes of filigree hearts from Gypsy Sew laser cuts, and I'm going to also use the centers that came from those. And then from this heart grid chipboard collection, I'm just going to use some of the heart centers. So the first thing we're going to do is prep the heart pieces, and I am just going to emboss the chipboard. So I am putting embossing ink on the small hearts. You want to do this in a solid coverage with the embossing ink, and then I'm going to take some embossing powder. This is a mixture. This is a mixture of white, glossy white, and gold flecks in with this. So use a pair of tweezers to hold small items that you're going to heat with your heat gun to emboss. And I'm holding it up so you can see, and just apply a lot of heat to it so that it starts to melt. I'm going to do all of these small hearts with this same embossing powder, and I will do those off camera to save us some time. And here are all the little hearts that have been embossed with the white powder that has the gold flecks in it. It's just really pretty. It doesn't show well in the video, but they're real pretty flecks of gold in there. So next I'm going to do the filigree hearts, and I'm going to use the same embossing ink, and I'm going to use Wow Gold Glitter. I want these to be solid gold, so I am going to apply a generous amount of the embossing ink to the hearts, and I'm just going to do one on camera, but I do this both of them the same. So apply plenty of embossing ink and then sprinkle on the gold Wow Glitter embossing powder. Before applying a heat to it, just tap off the excess glitter. And then, so you don't have glitter flying everywhere, set your piece aside and put the excess glitter back into your bottle and cap it off so that you're not blowing lots of glitter all over your craft room. I still get a lot all over my table, and I use a baby wipe to clean all that up. So now that I have it all back in the bottle, I'm going to take the piece that's still wet, and I'm going to take a heat gun and melt the glitter embossing powder onto the filigree heart. I did notice a couple of places on the heart that didn't get any of the embossing glitter embossed on them, so I'm taking the ink and reapplying just in those areas that need a little bit more glitter, and I'm going to apply the glitter, tap it off, and also heat that up again with the heat gun. Next, you will want to finish the base piece, the chipboard piece that is the base of your wreath. You can either paint it, stain it. I decided to wrap mine with seam binding ribbon. I'm using pink, and I've started off with a piece of tape on the back, and then I will just wrap the entire piece, working with 36-inch sections of ribbon until I get to the end, and then I also taped a piece of ribbon at the top as a hanger. So this is the piece completely wrapped. You can see the tape on the back. And if there's any loose spots, just go ahead and add a little piece of tape to tighten that up. Most of this will not show once the piece is done, but I wanted the edges to be finished in pink. Now I'm ready to start adding on my different pieces. I have my hearts that are ready. I have paper hearts that I have cut out of the graphic 45 papers that I'm going to glue onto the wreath and then attach the hearts, the chipboard hearts, over on top of the pieces of paper. So I'm just deciding which hearts that I want to use, or rather which pieces of heart paper that I have cut out. I have different ones that I cut out of the scraps of paper that I had, so I'm deciding right now which ones I want behind my filigree hearts. And then I will start gluing them down, and I'm going to use 3-in-1 glue to attach my elements to my wreath background. So I'm just trimming off a little bit of that heart where it was sticking out beyond the filigree, and I'm going to glue the paper heart down first, and then I will glue the filigree chipboard heart on top of that. I am now going to speed up the video so to save some time, but for the next step I will be playing with the different elements that I have, my hearts and some flowers that I have selected to glue to the front of the wreath. And so I am using again the 3-in-1 glue, and just arrange everything and move it around as you desire to get the look that you want on your wreath. Next, I'm going to take the Gold Nouveau embellishment paste and the solid hearts. I'm just going to rub the gold paste onto the one side of each heart. So I have 2 of these. These were from the centers of the filigree hearts. So I'm just adding some gold and rubbing it with my fingers. Continue to arrange and glue down the different elements you have for your wreath. I'm using some cut-aparts from the leftover papers that I had from this older paper collection from Graphic 45, and I'm just inserting them under different places, turning them different ways to fill in my wreath, and then I will add more flowers, ribbon, and lace. I also decided to add in some rhinestone, heart-shaped rhinestones in clear and pink in different places of the wreath. So I'm using the 3-in-1 glue to attach those down in different places on my wreath. Here I decided to add in a little bit of white lace in with the bows. I'm using the 3-in-1 glue, and sections of the lace, that probably about a 3-inch section of lace, that I'm going to fold into a loop and then glue into the actual underneath the bow. And I'm using a wood stick to help me hold them in place and kind of bunch them together to kind of gather up and place them underneath the bow. My wreath is complete, and it took probably about an hour, or a little bit less than an hour, to have a really pretty wreath to hang in your living room or dining room. I would not hang this one on my front door, as I don't want it to get damaged from the elements. So thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.